Today I'm going to give you a quick rundown of everything you need to know before you see The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, the new Hunger Games prequel movie that's releasing on November 17th, 2023. Also, don't worry, this video is spoiler free so you can watch it without ruining any surprises. Now, it's time to know before you go. First of all, let's get some background on the Hunger Games series. The Hunger Games is a trilogy of novels by Suzanne Collins, published between 2008 and 2010, that follows the story of Katniss Everdeen, a teenage girl who lives in a post-apocalyptic nation called Panem. Panem is divided into 12 districts that are oppressed by a wealthy and tyrannical capital. Every year, the capital forces each district to send 2 children, called tributes, to participate in a brutal televised death match called the Hunger Games. The last tribute alive wins food and riches for their district, while the rest are killed. The novels were adapted into 4 blockbuster movies starring Jennifer Lawrence as Katniss, Josh Hutcherson as Peeta Mellark, her fellow tribute and love interest, and Liam Hemsworth as Gale Hawthorne, her best friend and rebel ally. The movies were released between 2012 and 2015 and grossed over $2.9 billion worldwide. The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes is a prequel novel that was published in 2020. It takes place 64 years before the events of the original trilogy during the 10th Hunger Games. Only a decade after the uprising that started the Hunger Games, Songbirds and Snakes reintroduces Panem as a struggling post-war nation. The games are not yet the spectacle they will become. Instead, they're a militant punishment, a straightforward fight to the death between malnourished teenagers. It also tells the story of Coriolanus Snow, a young man who will later become the ruthless president and main antagonist of the Hunger Games trilogy. Snow is a top student at the Academy, a prestigious school in the capital, where he's selected to be a mentor for one of the tributes in the Hunger Games. He is assigned to mentor Lucy Gray Baird, a charismatic singer from District 12. The prequel novel explores the origins of Snow's character and how he became the villain we know from the original series. It also shows how the Hunger Games evolved from a primitive and unpopular event to a sophisticated and influential spectacle. The novel also introduces new characters and aspects of Panem's history and culture, such as the Covey, a group of traveling performers who live in District 12. Another thing to keep in mind is that the Peacekeepers are the people who patrol the districts. On the surface, they're tasked with maintaining order, but more often than not, they're trying to discourage rebellion against the capital. They tend to have riot gear and weapons, the latter of which they use in the original trilogy to whip or shoot residents who ignore orders or give the 3-finger Mockingjay salute. Songbirds and Snakes takes a closer look at how people become peacekeepers. Also, the name Tigris should sound familiar. In the Hunger Games books and movies, Tigris is a capital resident who provides Katniss and the other rebels refuge in her first shot. In Mockingjay Part 2, Tigris has a face tattooed with tiger stripes and whiskers on her cheeks. She was a stylist in the games, but stopped after Snow decided she wasn't pretty enough. In the prequel, we get a glimpse of Tigris's and Snow's childhoods, and quickly learn of their relationship. You might also remember that Finnick, in the book and on screen, revealed that President Snow used roses to cover the scent of blood in his mouth. Those sores, says Finnick, are caused by Snow poisoning his enemies and drinking from the same cup to deflect suspicion. Snow is often seen among the roses in his garden and wearing a rose on his lapel. Songbirds and Snakes gives a backstory on Snow's connection to those roses. In the Mockingjay Part 1, Katniss sings the old haunting song about lovers meeting at the hanging tree. Plutarch Heavensbee changes up the lyrics for propaganda film for the rebellion against the capital. In the film, Heavensbee changed the line necklace of rope to necklace of hope. Just keep this in mind, along with the fact that the song was written long before Katniss was even born. In the Mockingjay book, the song has even more significance as something Katniss remembers her dad singing, a tune that Peeta also recalls. This song becomes very important in Songbirds and Snakes. In case you forgot, in Panem, a mockingjay is a bird that mimics melodies and goes on to be the symbol of the rebellion. Katniss becomes the embodiment in The Mockingjay, and in Catching Fire, memorably shows off a wedding dress that turns into a black-winged Mockingjay costume. Eventually, President Snow outlaws all images of mockingjays. You can expect to learn more about the birds in the movie. The prequel movie is directed by Francis Lawrence, who also directed the last 3 movies of the original series. This film is expected to be faithful to the novel, but may also include some changes and additions to enhance the cinematic experience. So there you have it, everything you need to know before you see The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. If you're a fan of the Hunger Games series, or if you're curious about how it all began, you definitely don't want to miss this movie. Don't forget to like and subscribe, or check out the video on your screen for more of my content.